Hi kids, Lisa here, and I'm about to do just a quick video about my my ongoing obsession with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and particularly with the U.S. Games various versions of the deck. So I have a bunch of the yellow boxes from the 70s and the 80s and the early 90s. I have the um, blue box, the Waddington blue box from England from like 70, 71. I have a bunch of little minis that are so adorable. I have pocket size, which is slightly bigger than mini. Um, anyway, I think I have enough, but I didn't have a giant Rider-Waite, and you know, a gal's got to have it all, right? Um, well, of course I do. Um, yeah, I know. It's an obsession. Anyway, so the deal with the giant Rider-Waite is that when it was first produced, it was produced in an edition that was printed in Belgium. So between the 90s, like 95 and 2004, I'm going to guess, and maybe there was, I haven't done extensive research, so it may be that there was a version before the Carta Mundi printing of it, but I haven't seen that online. I haven't seen references to it online. If you know about an earlier than mid 90s version of the Giant Rider-Waite, let me know. The Albano Waite, interestingly enough, in the late 60s did come out in a 22 major arcana large format, which I've seen on eBay once and wasn't able to nab it. It was more spendy than I was willing to do. But anyway, so when I decided that I wanted to buy this deck, I wanted for sure to get the Belgium printing. And I saw it on eBay for a good price, although it was listed as an Italian printing. And I thought, yeah, I know the box. The box says very clearly printed in Belgium. This is the same box that I got. So I wrote the seller. I said, hey, you're saying Italian printing, but the box says, which is it, blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, it's Belgium. So I sent it to me, and it's not the Belgium deck. And I knew that instantly. I opened it up, and the opening card, very obviously says printed in Italy. These are plastic, like all get out. The coloring is yucky, and the titles are in the computerized font, right? Not the original Pixie titles. Just to give you a sense of how bad this Italian printing is. So when you go to the King of Pentacles, I mean, the colors are terrible, but it's also this sort of deeply pixelated. The colors are muddy. Instead of it looking like the King of Pentacles, it looks like the King of Slime. The fig leaves on his cloak, just, yeah. He's the king of blotchy, slimy, lichen, algae. And then a lot of the faces, let's see, I'm a little bit in the light here. So, there's just this pixelation. It looks like these were produced from a very bad, look at the Queen of Swords. Her skin is red, and there you go. Her skin is red and blotchy. It's just, the details are terrible. It just looks like a scan of a scan of a scan. So I was very disappointed. But, I don't even remember. I think I probably didn't write back the guy. I just was like, okay, live and learn. He had originally said it was Italian, and then I said, oh, are you sure? But I kept thinking about, my sadness, my despair over not having gotten the deck I wanted. So I kept doing some research, and I came across an eclectic tarot forum where they were talking about the difference between the Belgium printing and the most recent Chinese printings. And I realized that there's this period of these decks being printed in Italy, but now as US Games, I think, has split where they're doing printing, and I don't really understand all of the nuances of this, and I haven't really researched it, but some stuff being printed in Italy, other stuff by Modiano, other stuff being printed in China. it turns out that if you buy the Giant Rider-Waite-Smith deck now, new, if you buy it from US Games, what you get looks like this, and it is, I'm looking if it says it on the back. This is what the back looks like. It has the barcode, right? I mean, this is, there it goes. It's made in China, okay? So it's not printed in Italy, it's made in China. And it's a substantially better deck. And see, it says made in China. It just has that, it has that fresh tarot card smell. Now the backs, just to compare to the Italian, even though these are so much more plasticky, the plaid of the backs is, I think, preferable on the Italian printing. But everything else is better on the Chinese printing. So going back to the coloring, so this is the Italian versus the Chinese. So the yellows aren't as extreme. The detailing is better. So if you see here, I don't know if you can see it so much on the Magician. You can see a little bit the detail on the flowers in the Italian deck versus the subtler colors and the more finely detailed, better copy of the more recent deck, which was, you can really see it improved. I mean, it's still not perfect. The King of Pentacles, let's face it, it's kind of a weird card with the designs on his cloak. But King of Slime, colors really off, versus colors less off, and more clearly these are fig leaves rather than pockets of algae. And then the Queen of Swords, the blue is more subtle. Her face isn't so splotchy. You have flesh color. You can see what I always like to think of as the mala on her wrist. It's not really a mala, but it looks like that. Anyway, so I was like, okay, these are good. They're not, I don't know if you can see, they're not as plasticky. Yeah, I was happy with that. But not quite completely 100% satisfied. So when I, just a few weeks ago, saw an ad on eBay for a very inexpensive Belgian printing of this deck, and very explicitly in the description described as a Belgian printing, I had to buy it. So it was very inexpensive. I can't remember exactly, under 20, I think. And then the guy sent it to me, and I haven't opened it yet. I just love it. I just love this guy. It's a beautiful day. Your ginormous deck has arrived. Enjoy. And then it says, yank me. Uno. I love it. Uno. Whoops. Uno. Uno. There we go. Dos. Tres. All right. I love it. Okay, so uno. I'm going to yank that first. Dos. I'm doing just what he said. Oh my God, this is so... Yank me. Tres. Trace is proving a little difficult. Oh, no it isn't. Look what this guy did. And then he says, oh, his name is Om Depop. That's the name of the seller, Om Depop. You guys, what a sweetie. So he taped it so that there's a little tab here, so I actually can just yank it. And here is his deck. The box, no, I was going to say it smells a little bit like cigarettes. It's a little bent, a little crushed. He packed it really well, and a little bit faded. Truth be told, the box for the one that's from Italy is in better shape. But now, this is cool. Check this out, buddies. This deck is sealed. This deck is sealed. But look at the backs. Oh my God. I must open it. Oh my God. And I'm thinking that this is, yeah, it's 179 Ludlow Street, Stamford. Yeah, 1992 is, I'm thinking that that's, so it's the third printing, 1992, I think. Let's see what the little white book on the, oops, the little white book on the Chinese, if it also says 1992. Oh, Sylvie, my dog is crying. So it says 1992, 2003, 2016. Oh, sorry, 2010. So this is the little white book that came with the Chinese printing, and it's the 10th printing. You can see here. Oops. I always have problems figuring out. Right. Okay, so it's the 10th printing. Okay, so now, you know, this is what you're not supposed to do. You get things and they're sealed. You're not supposed to open them. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. Because bottom line, I like to collect, but I like to own. So yeah, this is, I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. Oh, yes. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to take the, oh, and it's got 3 blank cards at the back. It's got these and then 3 blanks. And I love the plaid. And the cardstock actually feels very similar to the Chinese cardstock. Maybe the Chinese cardstock may actually be, yep, it's a little thicker. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. It's a little bit thicker. The Chinese cardstock is thicker. The backs of the Chinese are much less attractive than the backs. I mean, you know, I don't love the plaid backing anyway, but this one feels more classic. Now, the quality of the printing. All right, let's look at the Queen of Swords. So this is from the Chinese. And the Queen of Swords. Humda, humda, humda. Sorry. What? That's sword. Ooh. Ah, okay. Interesting. I actually think that, yeah, the Chinese is superior. The Chinese printing is clearer. Well, okay. So this is interesting. Let's see. Do you see these clouds? So they have cross-hatching in them. It's not really cross-hatching. It's lines like a fingerprint. Versus in this, it's lighter. No, you can still see that. Yeah, I would say that the quality of the reproduction is finer, more refined. The coloring is a little bit less intense. This is shifted toward the Belgium deck is shifted toward the green more than the Chinese deck. So the softness of the cardstock on the Belgium deck, it's a little bit slicker. It's less beefy. It's a little bit slicker. It has better backs, the Belgium does. The coloring, yeah, I don't, well, let's check out the King of Pentacles. Let's go to our go-to, our King of Pentacles. So this is the King of Pentacles in the Belgium deck. So one thing also to notice is that the images are a little bit offset. They're a little bit more centered in the Chinese version. Yeah, I would say definitely the colors are more intense in this version. In the Belgium version, it's all a little darker, a little bit more toward the green. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go through this card by card ultimately and decide which one I like. Um, I'm not entirely sure. Sorry, that's really boring. It's really boring video where I just look down. Um, that is really interesting. I just assumed that I would be a bigger fan of the Belgium printing. Um, you know, because it's older. And I think I might be, ultimately. It's pretty darn good. Ooh, the lovers. Okay. I think I'm sold on the Belgium. Okay. Really beautiful and vibrant. It's a little bit washed out in the Chinese printing, um, in a way that's a little bit, well, I don't know if you can even tell, but this versus this. So the Chinese printing, the Belgium printing. Yeah, it may be one of those things where it's card by card, but if I had to choose it from the lovers, I would say the Belgium deck. Interesting. Yeah, and maybe the Belgian deck. But at any rate, here's lighting. Here is my ultimate view on this. My ultimate view. The Chinese deck is pretty darn good, and it's in print. The Belgium deck, I lucked out. I got a nice one. It was inexpensive. It was already sealed. Omnipop is a really great eBayer. Fabulous. But you know what? I don't think I needed to get it, although I will love it intensely. Okay, guys, that's all she wrote. Bye.